Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you so much for joining me here today, the 21st of December of 2021. Hope that you are all doing well. It is a Wednesday today, the middle of the week. We're 2 steps before Christmas, the holidays. For those of you that are not celebrating Christmas, we are almost at the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, summer solstice, which means the sun is ready to ingress into Capricorn, okay, which is where we're transiting through the smallest day, as the night has been the longest. Okay, so slowly, a step at a time, the day will start to grow in the northern hemisphere, start to become smaller in the southern hemisphere. A new season, we're on the verge of a new season, my dear friends, and I'm really happy to tell you that Jupiter, yesterday, as I was doing the Patreon new moon in Capricorn, which is happening on the 23rd, new moon in Capricorn, I was preparing that. I started to read for my patrons, as we always look into the new and full moons. Jupiter had just stepped into the 0 degrees of Aries. This is a brand new cycle, a brand new 12-year cycle. So think back, where were you 12 years ago? Jupiter has already touched on this degree as he was moving direct, leaving Pisces, but then he retrograded back into Pisces. He obviously needed to, let's say, dot his I's and cross his T's. He had something to complete. Now he's still covering the degrees that he retrograded over. So this is very positive, obviously, for the fire signs, for Aries mainly. Jupiter is going to fly through Aries, so dear Aries, enjoy your blessings, because in May, Jupiter will move into Taurus, and we're all looking forward to that, as Jupiter is he's the god of, he's like Father Christmas. That's how I see him. He's the god of abundance and optimism and happiness and truth. Let's see what today's message, the messenger is here. What is the message today, dear Spirit? I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I know for many this could be a very lonely time. So as I said to my patrons, please look after those that are living alone. It's a time of coming together with others, sharing love, sharing compassion, sharing time together. It is a family time, so I'm wishing you all well. Let's see what the Karma Dharma is today as we transit towards the birth of Christ. Wow, 2 cards. We have the High Priestess and the Sun. So beautiful, absolutely. I just got the goosebumps. 2 beautiful cards. The High Priestess, Pisces Virgo could be, and we've got Leo here as well. This is Spirit telling us that we hold the key, our higher self holds the key. Pisces is very secretive, very much about solitude. It is the natural 12th house, which Jupiter just left, and we know that the sun is, when the sun transits through Aries, it's in a very strong position. So the sun is ready to step into Capricorn, 0 degrees of Capricorn, which is very important for the world axis, and Jupiter just passed over the 0 degrees of Aries. So it's all about taking action. It's all about Capricorn being the mountain goat, working towards the light, working towards what is it that we want to create. Here we see a lot of quiet. Pisces is sleep, right? And we've got the moon and the sun. When they do come together, they do create a seed. Now the new moon in Capricorn is a new seed, obviously, even though this new seed is going to be in Capricorn, which is a Saturn ruled sign. Now Saturn is a very cold planet, very much about holding back. Saturn will give us a sense of not having that abundance. It's the miser feeling. Saturn will take from us. This is karma dharma. But remember that the sun is about nurturing, creating, happiness. What the cards are saying to me here is trust your intuition. It may be a quiet time, the season of Capricorn. It's a season of solitude and sort of hibernation, but the sun will come through. The sun is at the last few minutes of Sagittarius in a fire sign, and as we're doing this reading, Venus is coming up to trine Uranus in Taurus. So expect surprises, expect some good news in that. Maybe even in your dream state, pay attention to your dreams and what messages are coming through. Remember that the sun speaks to reconciliation, happiness, the inner child. It's the ability to create. It's the ability to feel a sense of generosity. I don't know why I need to tell you this all year. Have you been generous with others? Have you nurtured others? Maybe it's time for us ourselves to receive. We know that the sun is the most positive card in the deck, and it also speaks to confidence, leadership. What these cards are telling me is come out of solitude, come out into the light. Don't be shy. And remember that whatever you've sacrificed, Spirit will bring to you, will give you the return on your sacrifices. Now the High Priestess could be, if you are watching this reading pertaining to love, the High Priestess could be a third party. Leo does speak to the heart, matters of the heart, romance, flirtatious energies. Trust your intuition, my dear friends. That Pisces is all about compassion. Yes, it does speak to blockages and feeling a sense of solitude, maybe a lack of clarity. Remember that the sun does clear the clouds or the illusion of the moon. Something will come to light. Let's see what the messenger brings us today, 21st of December of 2022. We have the Eight of Swords in the now position. What is crowning? We have the Queen of Wands. Where are we coming from? The Nine of Pentacles, recent past. We have the Five of Cups, and the possible outcome is the Seven of Pentacles, which is the Capricorn energy. We do have a fair bit of earth. We've got all the elements here. At this time, our perception is that we are blocked, and obviously we go from the Nine to the Seven of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles does speak to the Virgo energy. It's all about putting in extra effort. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles, she knows her worth. She stands as an individual, very strong. She's in the Garden of Eden. But remember, the Virgo energy is all about doing the work behind the scenes. Nine of Pentacles can speak to a sense of abundance, but there's a sense of solitude and loneliness. Now it can also speak to putting in extra effort, as the Virgo energy is about putting extra effort and taking a step at a time, right? Working 2 jobs, putting extra effort, doing extra work pertaining to something. Now, obviously, can speak to finances, which says that in the distant past, financially, we may have been in a better situation. We know the financial situation in the world is not an easy one right now, with all the inflation and the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio has put a lot of pressure on, on our finances. We are going through a financial crisis at this time. And finances have got a lot to do with our self-worth. When we are able to stand financially strong, we are able, and we feel worthy. And we feel that we are of value. And that's what Virgo is all about. It's all about duty. Putting in, as I said, the extra work, working extra hours. And this is a very busy time of year, actually, for many. Those of you that are at work, it's just before trying to do everything at once. But anyway, this is also the single person, the person that knows that they can manage a situation on their own. In the recent past, we see that there's been some sort of a disappointment. This is what we are focusing on, the 3 of Cups. So maybe in the recent past, having hoped for some sort of a celebration. We are going through changes, though, and remember that there is a bridge this person is not noticing, that he has got help getting to the other side, to the abundance, the emotional abundance. Emotional abundance does incorporate our financial standing as well. So we're going through emotional changes. Now, what's on our mind is we're wanting to create, we're wanting to feel confident, we're hoping to have a little bit of luck as well. Remember that she's very magnetic, she's very attractive, the Queen of Wands. She's all about creation. She's very intelligent, she's very powerful, very creative indeed. Very much about leadership as well. But it's our perception of feeling blocked here. Now, the crowning position of the reading is a very important position, actually. Remember that the Queen of Wands could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. We do have Virgo, Capricorn. We do have some air here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and some water. Pisces is the strongest. Leo is very strong here as well, since we've got the Sun. We see here that it's like we're taking a couple of steps back and looking at what we've been invested in. It's interesting that we do have a 7, 8, 9, and this is like taking the steps back. We go 9, 8, 7, which is very much about the retrogrades of Mars and Mercury is in preparation to retrograde in the sign of Capricorn as well. Remember, Capricorn is not an easy sign. It's the mountain goat. Remember that the mountain goat, it's not only the strength in the knees, and where the mountain goat has got the ability to climb to the top of that mountain to succeed. Capricorn is all about succeeding in career, in working towards a very good reputation out there in the world. Right? It's all about what we aspire to accomplish. But the retrogrades mean we are revisiting the past still. After the 20th of January, roughly, when Mercury will have turned direct, all planets will be direct. So we're still, Saturn is still holding us back in the Capricorn season. We're still needing to continue working. Remember, as I said, it's not only the strength in the mountain goat's knees, It's the strength of the mind, the strength of believing that spirit has our backs. It's the mountain goat takes strength from divine source. And that's how he gets to the top of that mountain. So that's what the cards are telling us here, is that even if physically something seems impossible to accomplish, Spirit is saying, stay on track. Okay, there's a moment of pause where we've been invested. It's a 7, and Saturn speaks to number 7, because Saturn's cycle is 28 years. Every quarter cycle is 7 years. So we may be turning a difficult corner. We've got a 5 and a 7. Both are difficult numbers, but remember 7 also is a very spiritual number, which says you need to trust and believe that you can get to the top of that mountain. Don't hold yourself back. This is your own perception here. Oh my goodness, 3 of Swords. This does speak to a disappointment, and I do believe that this is connected to the past. There could be third parties here. I mean, this is a broken heart. Things not working out in the way that maybe you believed, possibly. Let's take a message from the wisdom of the oracle and see what Spirit advises here. At the end of the reading, I will take a message from the gods. I just wanted to mention that this new moon in Capricorn is also in a T-square, so it's in a difficult T-square, which means that there is a lot of pressure on this new moon in Capricorn because it is squared over by Ceres. Ceres, Gaia, remember Demetra in Greek mythology, whose daughter Persephone was taken into the underworld. She was abducted, and therefore, and as we know, as the seasons change, because when Persephone was able to leave the underworld and visit her mother 6 months of the year, spring and summer, the earth flourished and bloomed as Ceres, Mother Gaia, was happy that she was with her daughter. So Ceres, the asteroid Ceres, obviously, is opposing Jupiter. So Ceres in Libra at that first degree is opposing Jupiter. And an opposition is like a tug of war, right? Ceres needed to she needed to get the green light from Jupiter so that her daughter was allowed to visit her from the underworld every 6 months. So as I said, spring and summer is when the earth bloomed, and there was the earth was able to sustain its inhabitants, right? When autumn and winter would come around, it would be more about mourning. So that's why this card is very relevant for me. The Capricorn season and even autumn from the equinox, there's been a sense of mourning. And it's going to take a little bit of time until we get out of this. Remember, Ceres is in opposition on the 0, let's say, degree of the cardinal signs. So Aries, Libra, Capricorn and Cancer. This is very important for the world and what's going on out there in the world. It's the world axis. So right now there is a sense of warming and solitude and needing to waiting for the sun to pass over that 0 degrees of Aries, even though Jupiter is at that 0 degrees of Aries. Remember, Jupiter is still covering the degrees that he needed to retrograde over. So it's like there's a deal being made right now. A possible new beginning, as the new moon in Capricorn is a new seed. So send your wishes out to Spirit. Dear Spirit, what is the advice? Wow, we've got a card in here. I do not believe this. What's going on here? It's not a card, it's that my cards are stuck. That is strange. I don't know how that happened. I guess it's these two cards that we need to take. To be fair, something has been very unfair. It's in the reverse. And we've got soulmates. And what this says to me, and love has been showing up a lot, and another card is being shown to me here that is sticking out of the deck. And we've got blessed, so blessings are coming in. This card does remind me of the Libra energy. I don't know why. And it's a 22. To be fair. To be fair. Remember that fairness and justice and the scales. You could see the card right here. That there's been an injustice. Number 38 it could speak to, and it's an 11 again. So maybe we've heard or found out something, or haven't found out something. Remember that the owl can speak to nighttime, things that are hidden, but it can also speak to wisdom. So maybe there's something that we don't know. And you know, this could also speak to a possible divorce if this is a love affair, love triangle. We do have soulmates, and it's a number 41. We do see the soulmates here. They look quite sad, actually, if you ask me. Or there's a lot of tenderness. What is interesting here is the key. I've never really noticed the key. And remember, the High Priestess, she does hold the key, which the key speaks to an open wound. And what's interesting, my dear friends, is that Chiron, which is a key, and it's an open wound that we've been carrying from a past lifetime. If this is in relation to a soulmate connection, the key does speak to a resolution. It can speak to healing. It's something that we've been carrying from our childhood, from a past lifetime. But the key does speak to opportunities. Now, pay attention. Remember, the key can speak to signs and synchronicities, repeating numbers, right? Messages through spirit, through your dream state. Someone holds the key. The key can possibly speak to a new home. We do see the 9 of Pentacles, which could be someone that's been coming out of divorce or separation. It's usually someone who stands quite as the individual, right? Maybe even emotionally in, let's say, in a practical way in another relationship, but emotionally in mourning, unhappy. So that's interesting. And here we've got number 22. So this is a 41, which equals a 5. And 5s again speak to change. Remember, 5 is the Hierophant, which speaks to faith, family, religion, our faith. And I just wanted to say that the degree of this new moon in Capricorn is saying that we need to keep the faith. I have read the Sabian symbol on the video that I did for my patrons. If you are not part of our patron community, do consider becoming a patron, as we do go into the astrology and we look at the mythology, the Sabian symbols, which are very on point. So number 22 speaks to a decision, a portal opening. And it's interesting, I did speak of 11 and 22. Here are the signs again. Remember that aces and even the High Priestess, which is a 2, and the Sun, which is a 2. Aces speak to singlehood, the individual. 2 speak to coupling up, but they can also speak to segregation, separation. So we've got portals and doors opening up here with a 22. An important decision could be made by someone, but we see the blessings coming in here. Just like magic. And I'm sorry about the glare, but there's not something I can do about that. What a beautiful card here. And we see the stars here. And speaking of the stars, Venus has been reborn. She's come out of the underworld, my dear friends, and you're able to see her in the sky. She's the brightest star, so look out for her as she, in the evening sky, she is very bright. After, let's say, the moon, she's the next brightest star. Let's see what's beneath the Three of Swords. We have the Four of Cups and then the Five of Cups. Someone hasn't been happy to accept this cup, or hasn't noticed this Ace of Cups, which is the hand of God, the hand of Spirit. For whatever reason, fours always speak to not being happy emotionally in your environment, in one's home, missed opportunities because of third parties. There's the Page of Pentacles, which does promise something long term, but remember, pages are about going through some learning, needing to study something, focusing on someone's financial situation. Money matters may have been at the fore here. That's why maybe emotional matters have been put aside, or money is involved within. Could be the Three of Swords. Remember, if this is not a third party, then we could be talking about financial hardships, which have led to a heartbreak, possibly. But this also speaks to a messenger. Now, I'm not reading reversal, so I don't know. Let's see what this page is sitting on. The Fool. And the Fool is Aries energy. It is also a new cycle that has opened up, which I believe is pointing back to possibly the season of Aries this year. And astrologically speaking, that is right on point for me. Something has begun, something that was very promising here, but then emotionally, something pertaining to someone's emotional security and happiness, there's been a disappointment. So something that was promised here, there was an injustice, or something's taking forever. Maybe the blessings are taking forever, or possibly someone needing to make a choice. Let's see what's going on. We've got poverty, there it is. Feeling left out in the cold, financial issues being a factor here. The poverty card does remind me of the Five of Pentacles. A sense of lack, feeling unloved, feeling feeling that there is no security here, emotionally, financially. Times are difficult. This could be someone that is suffering financial loss because of divorce, possibly as well. Because remember, we do go from the 9 to the 7. Let's see what comes after poverty. We've got a courtship here. So it does speak to a partnership or a relationship. Something maybe that didn't really get off the ground at all. Was because of third parties. We see the courtship where these two people are still trying to get to know each other. It's not like the Lovers where this relationship has progressed. It's as though two people emotionally don't really know each other that well, didn't know each other that well. Let's take another card, and it is a 4. So we've got an Ace and a 4 here. And then we've got a 3 with marriage. Marriage can speak to a contract. And we've got the Child, my darling friends. This is very, very positive indeed. Very promising. Remember, the Sun can speak to children. But the Child here speaks to happiness. It speaks to a new beginning. possibly a new beginning. And I don't know if some of you may have been possibly single mothers also, and there's been an injustice. Some of you may have had a child and suffered greatly. Single mothers where there was no marriage, I would say. So feeling left out in the cold emotionally because of children, because of a certain child. The child could also be the third party, my dear friends. Let me just restart. It's interesting that we go so quickly from the courtship to the marriage. We go 1, 4, and 3, so it's like revisiting again. But it's interesting also that we've got two couples here, one that has not progressed, that has been stopped in its tracks to only courtship, so only the first steps of a relationship. And then we've got all of a sudden the marriage card, which can be very promising, yes. Because if we take the cards as past, present and future, then this is what's promised in the future. And of course we are not all on the same timeline. This could speak to the distant future, possibly. Courtship says dating, getting to know each other, so on and so forth. Because we see the soulmates here, but it's a 5. And 5 does speak to family. 5 is the Hierophant, remember, which can speak to marriage. This can also speak to someone that is hedging their bets, someone that is married, wanting or getting to know someone better, having stepped out of a marriage. That could mean as well. Or that something went to get off the ground, but then all of a sudden, because of a child, someone had to marry because of a child, because of the birth of a child. Anyway, this will be different for each of you. Let's see what the child is sitting on. Remember that it's an 18, and 18 is the moon, so maybe secrets around a child. We've got the pathway that opens. A new path opens. And this does bring up very strong Plutonian energies, where there's been some sort of change, some sort of metamorphosis. The path opens up to something new and much more happiness. What comes before the path? We have community, which speaks to someone's environment, the people around them. Change. Change in someone's home, community. The path opens. Possible travel, movement. Let's take another layer here. Wow. Let's just have a look. We'll put these back in. We've got the moon, the 6 of cups, and the 2 of swords. So someone needing to make a choice. Someone in a dilemma pertaining to things that are hidden, possibly on this new moon. Someone needing to trust their intuition, not knowing if there's been an ending. I mean, there's 10 swords here, which can speak to betrayal as well. Let's put them back. The 2 of swords does speak to a dilemma. Someone is needing to trust their intuition. Maybe not having all the facts, but the new moon may bring information in that will tell you that someone is needing or wanting to make a decision, a very important decision. Let's look at that 3 of swords. We've got temperance, healing, coming out of hardship, heartbreak, and Spirit is saying in divine timing, healing will come through. The sun promises to rise again. In the background, the sun does speak to healing, happiness, a birthing process. and the Sun is at the 29th degree of Sagittarius. I want to wish my Sagittarius friends a happy birthday. You've celebrated recently. And a happy birthday to those of you that are Capricorn born on the first days. This new moon for you will be blessings for the whole year. Let's see what this Eight of Swords is about. Someone is feeling bound and restricted within a marriage, or fears the worst about making a decision about a portal. 1111, this is the marriage card. The Four of Wands does speak to someone's security through work or through the ability to feel safe and secure. I mean, it looks like a home, right? It looks like a home, but there's a lot of worry, things that are unknown, pertaining to a home, pertaining to a marriage, pertaining to someone's happiness. What is the Nine of Pentacles? We've got the King of Pentacles who holds the 10th pentacle. He is a father, usually. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Someone who's very independent, usually the King of Pentacles could be a CEO, a leader, a father, someone who is all about their money. We did have the Page of Pentacles, which could also be a child of this King of Pentacles. So we've got the King of Pentacles and a Queen of Wands. Logically, if this is Taurus, Leo, these are fixed signs which haven't had it very easy at all. If this is a couple, if these are two people that have what's separating them or holding them together is some sort of contract, could be business or a marriage, but there's a lot of worry around that. Let's look at that Five of Cups. We've got the Emperor. Unbelievable that the King of Pentacles and the Emperor show up together. I usually do see them as the same person. The Emperor is the major arcana of the King of Pentacles. So it looks like this King of Pentacles, possibly, and Emperor are mourning something pertaining to the past. But what they don't know is that there is an opportunity, as long as they leave the past, leave the emotional hardships of the past and look towards the future. And this could be someone that needs to keep a very brave front. If this is someone that is a leader, that holds a position of power. Let's look at the Queen of Wands. We've got the Knight of Cups. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. There is some sort of an offer, my dear friends, which is coming in that will bring a lot of happiness. Remember that this is, if we look at it like a horoscope spread, that at the top of the reading would be what we hope to acquire, what we work towards, right? There is some sort of an offer here. And of course, Capricorn is at the top of the chart. So this is a new moon, so this is a possibility here. We may not know until the next full moon in Cancer, and then the next new moon. This could be playing out then. We know the Queen of Wands is very attractive, and we see a Knight of Cups. This could be just an offer, if not someone that is emotionally immature in comparison to the Queen of Wands. And of course, the Emperor is someone that's experienced where business, holding leadership, and just being the one that gives the orders. The Emperor is not someone that will show that internal emotional softness. They need to have an outer facade which shows that they're in control, But I feel that this is the Emperor here. King of Pentacles. Now possibly the Emperor and the King of Pentacles could be a different party. This will not be the case for all of you. Let's look at the outcome with the Seven of Pentacles. Possible outcome. We've got the Ace of Swords, which is, it's a tool to clear out anything that's been difficult or words that will cut. The Ace of Swords is a new beginning. It's a potential beginning, and it speaks to victory, potential victory after a time of needing to wait. I think I will take one more card on the Ace of Swords. I'd like to take one more card on the Four of Wands first. We've got the Six of Pentacles, which does possibly speak to divorce, or that there is a lot of fear and someone is feeling bound, but this is them, their perception holding them back. There's a lot of worry pertaining to someone's emotional happiness, their financial security through vocation, through work possibly as well. This is a return. This is a payback. This is karma dharma. Now, obviously, in the Six of Pentacles, we see this person who is very generous giving more to this side than that. So this person on this side sometimes may feel left out. And that could mean that someone was giving more towards a family than what they, and that's what it shows to me here, that there is poverty pertaining to a relationship that never really got off the ground. Possibly someone was giving more to a marriage because there could be a child involved here. Because remember, we go back to the marriage, which is a 3, and that's the Empress, and the Empress is usually a mother. We do see the scales once more here, and they are, well, they're in balance. But remember that Sarah's, which is very motherly, and Sarah's can speak to loss and mourning, and she's in opposition to Jupiter, which Jupiter in Aries needs to, I should say Jupiter in Aries is in a Mars-ruled sign, and Mars is retrograde in Gemini. We're still dealing with matters of the past, still trying to figure things out. Jupiter is coming in to bring the wisdom and the light and expand on the courage in taking that or continuing that new adventure or that new cycle that we've started. Remember, we did have the Fool card in this position here. And Chiron has turned direct. Soon Jupiter will touch on Chiron in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. And that will be, I would say, the abundance where that open wound is concerned, or we will have the wisdom, the key to unlock any issues that we are dealing with. There's the Moon again. And we've got the Hanging Man. I don't know if this is talking about Pisces season. It could be. Someone is going to look at things from a different perspective, and this new moon is going to bring us some sort of an awareness or enlightenment about what we needed to do whilst holding on, or a karmic situation, remember, that kept us sort of blocked. Pisces is the 12th house. It's the last sign of the zodiac, which means feeling a sense of imprisonment. It does rule, Pisces does rule hospitals, mental asylums, psychiatric wards, love affairs, secret enemies. I do believe here that this the moon is speaking to the new moon. No, it could also speak to the moon, new moon in Pisces next year. So Pisces Aries season, which I spoke about before. So this will be different for each of you, my dear friends. Remember, we are not all on the same timeline. Oh my God. Oh my God. Aries season. Revisiting. Coming back. Taking a risk. And 3 of Cups. Yes, on a world, on a collective scale, I do believe that March, April will be when this begins for all of us. It won't be until the new astrological year, as we've got the transiting Pluto. Pluto will step into Aquarius, which will change the energies. Pluto will be there for 3 months, April, May, June. Saturn will leave Aquarius, where he's very strong, and step into Pisces, where we felt like we lost it. Pisces, remember, there are no boundaries. We can get lost in the ethers, in the cloud. Remember that Neptune, which rules Pisces, is a gas planet. There's escapism, escaping through drug, medicine, food, abuse. And we know emotionally it's been very hard for everyone. So we do have the 3 of Cups, some sort of a reconciliation or happiness or celebration. Of course, as I said again, timing will be different for each of you, and there is the Hierophant, which says we need to keep the faith. We've got the Hierophant and the High Priestess here, needing to keep the faith, trust in what you will see through your dream state. Again, wow, wow, wow. Let's take a message from the gods. Just like to mention Sally's magical candles. You can find her on Instagram. You will find her link beneath the video. Sally's beautiful candles. Thank you, Sally, always for your love. Sally is so creative and such a loving soul. My darling Sally, sending you love. I hope that you've got lots of orders for Christmas. These are beautiful for gifts for Christmas. Those of you that have not connected with Sally, please do. She's got so much there on offer. Let's see what the gods have today. We've got Helios, illumination. This is the sun, my dear friends, the sun. Oh my God, I love this card, absolutely love it. It does remind me always of Archangel Lophiel, who came to me in my dreams. He was exactly like this, but the only difference is that on his skin, his aura was made of gold. He sparkled, he had a beautiful tan, and his hair was exactly the same, but much, much shorter. This is, for me, this is Archangel Lophiel, Jophiel, Zophiel, call him what you may, him or her. They say that Archangel Lophiel could be female or male. And the sun, number 8, Leo comes through very strongly, and it speaks to leadership. We have talked about the sun a fair bit, which just wanted to say the sun and the moon are not in a strong position right now. Let's see what Helios, illumination, speaks to, the myth. Helios is the son of Hyperion and Thea. He is a Titan and the brother of Selene, moon, and Eos, dawn. It's interesting that we've got the sun, the moon, and dawn, 3 again. The I can never read this word, the personification of the sun. He is often depicted as a beautiful crowned god who rode a chariot across the sky through the day, illuminating the world with his light. We did see the chariot here. There it is, which speaks to change. It speaks to overcoming obstacles. And beneath that, we've got occupation, so needing to put in the work to bring in the changes and to move towards victory. Remember, the chariot is also Cancer, and Cancer is all opposite this new moon, so it's very prominent and very important. The message says, if Helios, I should say Helios in Latin, in English, Helios is in Greek, has shown up in your cards today, the sun is shining on you now. This is a time of illumination. Clarity and joy are coming to you now as your life becomes illuminated. Now remember how I spoke of in the beginning that when the sun enters Aries, it's in a very strong position, and that will be, of course, the beginning of the new astrological year. That could be when we will have the illumination, but possibly also here, because as the sun is going to pass over that 0 degrees of Capricorn now and bring on the Capricorn season, it is a time of hibernation. Maybe we could see through our third eye. Maybe the illumination comes through spirit and through God, right? So pay attention. Clarity and joy, and the word joy is Leo, are coming to you now as your life becomes illuminated. When our vision is clear, we have the joy and comfort of perspective. We are able to make sense of past, present, and future, thereby allowing ourselves to make clear decisions about our lives. Now is a very good time to write and reflect upon where you are as things are becoming clear for you. You may feel yourself filled with inspiration and positivity, as this is an empowering period filled with vast possibility and much joy. Use this new burst of energy to propel you forward to where you want to be in your life, but most importantly, do not forget to celebrate life, to play and have fun, for life is nothing without joy. Now is the time for renewed energy, clarity and perspective. Have fun. The sun is shining on your life right now, so enjoy this highly abundant and fruitful period. And obviously with Christmas and the festive season, this is what we need to focus on, my dear friends, and this is what the gods are wanting to share with us. Those of you that are wondering what this deck is, I've been asked, it's the Mythic Oracle of the ancient Greek pantheon, and it is by Blue Angel Publishing. Okay, so I think I will leave it there, my dear friends. I'm wishing you well. Thank you so much for connecting with me. Thank you so much for your love and your support all year, obviously. Thank you so much to my patrons, especially, for helping Divine Debut continue to exist. We know times are not easy, and as the US is going through its Plutonian return, I know that there's so much going there. I am following the news always. The world at large is in a difficult, transformative transition. I do feel that we've gotten to the worst, and we're seeing a lot of things that are coming through, a lot of truth as the sun will. I mean, nothing is hidden under the sun, right? So they say you can run, but you cannot hide. I think it was, oh my God, what comes to me right now, what just came to me now, it was Helios riding his chariot through the sky that illuminated. Helios was the god who caught Pluto as the earth opened up, and Pluto, Hades, was abducting Persephone and therefore bringing a sense of death to the earth. Helios, as I said, nothing can stay hidden under the sun, under the light. It was Helios who illuminated, who saw Pluto, the god of the underworld and of the darkness, abducting Persephone as the earth just opened up and then closed up. And he is the one who told Jupiter, and then I think, God Jupiter, Zeus, that Persephone was abducted by Pluto. And then obviously Demetra asked that her daughter be allowed to visit her 6 months of the year. So this is a very important shift in the seasons, my dear friends, as Persephone was tricked by Pluto by eating the pomegranates, which is the food of the underworld, right? And therefore she was tricked into needing to return to the underworld 6 months of the year. So that's what it's all about. We're sort of halfway through that as we are now moving through the winter solstice. We've got 3 months to go, my dear friends. Helios will illuminate everything for us, so do not fear anything that's been hidden, anything that was Plutonian, anything that was taken from us, anything connected to death and metamorphosis and transformation and large amounts of money and sexual connection. I mean, Pluto does speak to sex and fears and control and betrayal and jealousy and all those things. Helios will illuminate. And I will leave you with that. I know I spoke a little bit more than I usually do, but I just felt called to do that. I know many of you enjoy these readings, so wishing you well. Talk to you soon, my dear friends. Ta-da.